Good evening. It is 7:04. We call this meeting to order, April 24th, 2023, Bakersfield Select Board. First item on the agenda, previous minutes.
I make a motion to accept the last meeting's previous minutes as amended and presented.
And I will second.
Oh, I guess, wait a minute, let's do that with the mic on. I make a motion to accept the last meeting minutes as amended and presented.
And I will second that motion.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried 3-0. We only have 3 members present tonight. But we require 3 members, only 3 members to have a quorum. So it passed. Anything on finance this evening?
I don't think we received the packet, so no,
No.
no. Warrants are out.
We've got last month's, but not this week's. Yeah, that's all we got. All right, anything other on the consent agenda?
Yeah, I guess I can bring up MERP here.
Okay,
And then wait till the end. So, I attended the training class.
first explain what Mark.
I attended the training class for MERP, which stands for Municipal Energy Resilience Program. That had state representatives on it as well as VLCT. It was a good class, a couple hours long, about an hour or so long. They covered the fact that it's the grants are they have up to $500,000 available for the municipalities, if it's a municipal building or such, to have energy assessments done as well as repairs to said buildings. They said that there are quick grants for $4,000 to start with. Those grants are to help with the assessments. Now, I know at the prior meeting, Josh had tasked me with going and getting an assessment. After attending this meeting, I'm not to go get an assessment. We have to contact the Northeast Regional Planner, who is in charge of this project. They are our representative. From there, they will assign someone to come out and check our buildings. And I want to be as clear as I think I can be, because the way it was said was very distinct. And that was that, if you have multiple projects, they may not and probably will not be funded. Pick your most important project and put it first.
Okay.
So right where we were talking about assessments on all the buildings, all 4, the town garage north, I think was the other one. I've never been to that one. But the library in here, and we can get them all assessed. They require somebody with keys to every building to be here to take their person through. They are not waiting on us. If it doesn't happen, they're gone.
Okay.
That was something that was said. And the other thing was, if it's like multiple projects, the possibility of all of them getting funded within that municipality is not that great. It could have a project up to $500,000 though. People ask if they can build a new town building somewhere, and they're like, yeah, if you put it
Okay,
together in a
so
project.
we have them assess all 4 and we choose which one we need to
Yeah, we stack
move
rank what we
forward
need.
with.
We stack rank what we need. Right, exactly. And what projects there. They'll send someone out, and it has to be a minimum of a level 2 survey. They prefer level 1, right, where they take total heat, RF factors and everything else, and they bring in specific equipment, but at level 2 will work in this scenario. But again, that has to get scheduled through the Northwest Regional Planning.
And who pays for the assessment?
It is a part of, we can do the 4,000 little bump, but according to what my understanding was, we can confirm with Northwest Regional Planning, that's getting paid out of a separate bucket to do the assessments. What else can I tell you about it? They haven't kicked off the big process yet. They said that I joined their email group, so I get an email and know when it's going to happen. We still need someone to do our grants, and we were talking about Alex. We're on with Alex.
Yep.
With that, I still haven't had that conversation though. So I'm just making sure I have everything. Sorry, I hate using a lot of ums. That's the pause in my brain today. Oh. And there's Alex now. Good evening, Al. Oh, he's not back yet. So they do not have a project designer. We would have to do our own project planning and implementation. Alex, I'm talking about MERP right now.
Great. I'm giving my kid a bath at the moment, so I'm trying to listen as best I can, but I'll tune in if I can. Thanks.
Yep, BGS stands for Building and General Services now, not building and ground with the state. And they said the grants will cover mechanical, electrical, and plumbing in these municipal buildings. Like I said, up to $500,000. Oh, the other thing I wanted to have it right here. The other thing I wanted to bring up that I kept pausing to try to remember what it was, sorry, is I asked a question about the monies and how they disperse because, you know, Burlington and larger areas have a ton of money already coming in taxes. The smaller municipalities, we don't have that kind of cash flow. And I'm like, hey, I'm really hoping that the smaller municipalities will get, you know, will be prioritized over these large municipalities who already have quite a tax base and can do a lot with what they had. And they did confirm that the monies will be based on population. So that's good for us, at least. I mean, there are some smaller towns than us, but at least we're going to be in the top, I don't know, we'll say 25 or 50.
Very good.
Oh, and by the way, the monies that they have, which is $45 million, is was a chunk that they took out of the ARPA funds and set aside for green projects. Any questions? Okay,
Any idea when, or have you contacted
I haven't.
Northwest Regional Planning Commission yet?
I haven't. We need to reach out and talk to them. I've been trying to, I found it once and God help me, I can't find it again. The name of the person who is the contact for this project.
Okay.
I don't know if Alex may know it but it's going through the website and finding it again. There's a website that is titled bgs.vermont.gov/municipal-energy-resilience-program. So when you listen to this tape, you can type it out. It is BGS, like Bravo Golf Sierra .Vermont, i.e. the state, .gov, .Vermont, all written out, .gov/municipal, the minus sign, energy, minus sign, resilience, minus sign program. Oh, I put ENC is what I put, but I could be wrong. Program
ANC.
-resilience-program. Okay, and that's the website, and you guys can all roll around in there and enjoy yourselves as well as I did. That's all I have for that. Alex, I know you're giving your children baths or your child a bath. Alex is joining to discuss his grant writing and what we had spoken about as a board. And sorry, my throat is killing me. Alex, are you there?
Apparently not yet. We'll pick him up.
We'll come back. We'll come back to Alex.
Okay, we'll move on to visitors for right now.
Yep.
First up, Cemetery Commission. Ms. McCall.
Welcome back.
Okay,
Oh, hey, hang on, just as an aside, because if I don't say this, I'll forget it and it'll never get said. Tammy, we need to have a sign-in page sheet for every meeting for guests. So if you could help me remember, we'll get that out for next meeting. Thank you. Sorry, Linda.
That's okay. Prepared a letter with the information that I'm going to read you. That one.
Thank you. I got two. There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm the new chair for the Bakersfield Cemetery Commission. And was elected last year, worked on with the Cemetery Commission last year. We had some volunteers that stepped up. Lisa Stone said, when I retire, I want to do work on that village common to get that flower bed looking decent. It should reflect Bakersfield's pride and community. And so she gathered a bunch of volunteers last summer that I worked with to get that weed patch and stuff out of the center and put flowers in there, many of which are upstairs overwintering. And we had one cemetery commissioner that said, we are a cemetery commission, not a park commission, not a town common commission.
Right.
You know, we spent money last year on the flower bed, the maintenance there, the stones. And, you know, at first I pushed back and then I said, well, let me do some homework here. And found out she's exactly right. We are a cemetery commission. And there is a state law that says that the money that the cemetery commission receives shall be used exclusively for the maintenance of cemeteries. And we are responsible for Maple Grove and Cook Cemetery. Now, back in 1963, when the select board assigned the care of the town common to the cemetery, the population was 50% of what it is now, at least. And we now have people in town that are ready and willing to step up and serve on a town common commission. And I think the time is right to set up that commission and take that collateral duty off the cemetery commission. And these folks, Lisa Stone and her husband Ivan and Ann Middlestat, were our core people that organized other volunteers and got them up there working. And they have agreed that if the select board decides to establish such a commission, they would be willing to serve on that as a core group. And they have already put together a list of items that they need to get that center, and starting at approximately $350, which isn't bad. That's fertilizer, mulch, perimeter flowers, using the red geraniums in the center there, using them on the Veterans Memorial.
Yeah, I haven't been upstairs. Last time I looked a couple of months ago, they look pretty good.
They do look great, don't they?
Yeah. So that'll
They've
save.
taken good care of them, and we've got some farmed out other places.
Good.
That'll, yes, that was 130 geraniums that were purchased last year.
Wow.
Yes. Plus the fertilizer, plus the mulch. Lots of voodoo. You'd think living in Vermont, we wouldn't have to buy that stuff, but things have changed. So that's all I have to say. And everything is here in the letter. And I know there's been controversy about some people thinking that when we run out of room in the cemetery, that we just start burying people on town common. But if you go back and read Joseph Baker's deed, it's filed in book 1, pages 319 through 321. He said he gives 5 acres for burial ground and a town common. And at any time, should anybody violate that anyone else could step up and challenge it. So that would leave the town open for a lawsuit. So
Do we know how many acres we have left of cemetery?
we don't have very many left. It might be time to look at rewriting the bylaws because right now, every family that has a death gets, equivalent of 5 plots.
Yeah,
And with, cremations and stuff, they really don't need that. So.
I'll donate mine. I'm gonna be spread on the farm, so.
I give up mine too, because I can be buried in the family plot, which, has an additional 3 available,
There you go.
but there's still people in town where you get 1 death and they get the 16 feet.
I have my own opinion on the answer. And I've
Yeah.
done my own research,
Good.
but I would like you to speak to the ball field and who that
ball
belongs to.
The ball field was part of the common school property
Yes,
and it was given to the town. There's only a small strip on the south side of Town Road 3 that belongs to the cemetery, and that's because of where the road was put, but it kind of,
the road moved.
the road moved,
Yep.
yes,
Thank you. That agrees with what I found.
yes,
There are many people who disagree with that.
I know, I've heard them, but. And also the Historical Society has a septic tank and leach field on the top of that knoll that they forget about, and it's like,
Okay, yeah. It's on town property, but
right. So. We need to, sit down and decide what we're gonna do going forward. Do we rewrite the bylaws? We need some rules and regulations drafted up too.
And a question with regards to this is the Town Common Commission, well, TCC, whatever it may be called, are they requesting $350 in
They
funds?
would like some starting funds. Okay, and they're happy to see that Alex will be coming on board as a grant writer. That will
Right.
help them out
yep.
and get some grant money to help with fences. Same with the cemetery commission. We need some help with fences.
Yeah, that's you were telling me the price of fences, that's pretty expensive, so we need some
That's
help.
installed.
Yeah.
That was pre-COVID prices.
Yeah, yeah. it's
I can
crazy.
get some chicken wire and some old fence posts.
We got junkyard fence down there now, so I think we want to do that.
Thank you.
And we can plant peas on it in the spring too.
Pardon me?
And we can plant peas on it in the spring that way.
There you go. Dress it up. Hope you don't get a woodchuck to eat them like mine did.
All right. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
All right, state your name and your business, please, sir, because you're not on the agenda.
Hit the, turn the mic on first. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Kind of was.
So Ryan Ovett,
Right.
Yeah, but it's not on the agenda.
They sent us a thing though. Josh
See a
said,
while over the beer.
Yeah, I'll say it.
As I said, it's
That's all right.
not on the.
Josh didn't put it on here, but Josh sent.
so Ryan Ovett,
Hang on, Ryan, our note keeper is in a conversation. Ready?
Ryan.
Ryan,
yes.
thank you, Ryan.
So Ryan Ovett here on behalf of Bakersfield Little League.
Mhm.
To request labor and trucking from the town to truck infield dirt for the Little League field. We did this last year.
Yep.
Also,
Yep.
the Little League pays for the dirt. We just don't have a big truck to truck it here, so we came to the town and asked for that, which the town obliged last year. So we're hoping to do that again because dirt settles and we need a little bit more dirt.
So remind me, Mac, this was like a Monday to Friday piece, right? Where you just picked up a couple truckloads and hauled it?
It was just one, yeah.
Last year I worked with Mac and Mac actually found a place closer than where I was originally looking. So Coventry, I believe it's called Calkins. Yep. So we got a load of ball field mix and he delivered it right over by the school. So
Excellent.
Precedence has been set. We've done it before. Any,
I'll make a motion to allow the Bakersfield Little League max services one more time or another time to haul another load of ball field mix to the fields.
I'll second that motion.
okay, motion's been made, seconded, that we have Mac haul a load of clay for the Bakersfield Little League. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Got some
Ryan.
bottles for your hand, too.
I was gonna say, Beth said to tell you that he's gonna bring bottles to you.
Oh.
He couldn't get down to the barn tonight, the kids fell asleep. I said, well, I'm gonna see him, I think he's gonna be at our meeting, so he'll drop them off to your house.
Same here, I got some.
messaged Katie that was supposed to be able to come up on this.
Well,
Do that?
yeah, no, 'cause she was at work and he's at home, he's like, I don't even have them ready because the kids fell asleep, so.
Last year we raised a little over $1,000.
Nice.
Equipment for the teams.
Yep.
And now one day in my garage.
I have some too, so,
Thank you.
Hey, right.
thank you, Ryan. Oh, you know what else I have is first aid kits.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it.
I got rid of first aid kits.
You're up.
I brought the old ones for you to,
Only actually passed out.
They did?
On the emergency contact list, and we've also worked with school to use their Wi-Fi.
oh, nice,
Yep, but all that.
oh, good, good,
Thanks, everybody.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Absolutely. Okay.
I actually printed it out.
Okay, yeah. I've got one too at home. Um,
Hang on. Please turn on your mic. Push the word push. There you go. Thank you.
next up is Alice Foote, speaking for the Bakersfield Town Park. John, I am sorry. Carolyn Bonds, I don't know where that came from. I was just reading something she wrote. I apologize, Carolyn.
Problem. So I'm representing the Conservation Commission. And I just wanted to come in to really clarify and get your specific approval for this little project that we want to do in the town park. We have a couple of signs also that we want to put in the parks, metal signs, and we have this little pollinator friendly garden. And this sign would be kind of explaining a little bit more of the no mow May for people who might think that it's just going to be a messy lawn. But just to explain it, it can be flexible because it doesn't have to be don't mow till June 1st. What I do at home is I kind of wait for the dandelions to just before they go, to seed. Then I mow. It's usually right around that time, June. And then along with it, I don't know how often you mow, but they recommend mowing every other week, not every week, and not mowing too close to the ground, keep your grass not real short like the golf course, because it makes a healthier lawn and it allows those little blooms to still grow. And the other thing that I would recommend is that a strip is mowed right next to the sidewalk, a strip would be mowed there and a strip along the garden, so that the long grass doesn't go right up to the sidewalk. It's
Right.
Kind of
Yeah.
a place that,
And of course, you've got the ball field down, the old ball field, out on in the outfield. I think you can,
oh yeah, you want to strip around.
Yeah.
anyway.
yeah. All the stuff. Curious, do you plan on sowing some seeds over here for,
No, well, not right away.
not yet?
We're kind of, experimenting as we go.
Yeah.
I have a neighbor who she has bees and she has a huge expanse of lawn, and what she does is she lets circles of clover grow.
Yep.
And she just mows around the circles here and there in her big expanse.
I've got Indian paintbrush on my lawn that I let go.
Yeah. I've got a lot of different stuff growing in my lawn now.
There's a program for farmers too, that they are asked to grow wettish land areas and allow them to grow up for birds and bees, and especially the bobolink. And
It's really good. So we're taking like little steps at a time. Our garden is small, and we're just one step at a time,
Yeah.
But we will probably be planting more pollinator friendly shrubs and plants. But
So-
we just wanted to clarify what we have in mind and get your approval, and
So,
you're gonna put a couple of signs up there, and we plan to make a kind of a bigger laminated sign with this information and put it on a kiosk.
excellent. Just question or two. Have you, hearing what Linda McCall was just talking about, the cemetery, we're talking about right across the street, correct? Hearing what Linda was just talking about, when she came in to talk about the cemetery commission with Lisa Stone and all?
She's talking to this.
Talking-
Way over.
the old open lot.
Okay, I'm sorry, then it isn't gonna impact, the two groups aren't gonna.
No.
All right. Then, hey, that's perfect. I was gonna ask if you spoke to her. And Mac, who mows that? Is that us? All right. Excellent. So, I mean,
Who knows?
Mac, who mows the area she's requesting?
He uses his own personal mower to mow. This just takes him a little
Right.
bit.
So-
And
He does it for free.
we don't have a mower on our.
A big one, yeah. It's kind of large, but a small area.
Just using yours to really.
They do Brigham lawn with a town mower.
It sounds like we'll be taking care of this out here. Or do we already commission most the condo?
Now,
They won't be.
currently.
Yeah,
Ross has been-
currently, or in the past, they have, that's been included with the contract for the cemetery. So, yeah, you're right, we may end up having to either do it or contract it.
Well, if we got the equipment, we might as well be doing it.
Mhm.
As long as it's not too wet, that tractor should. That's right, you get that sandy soil up here.
Yeah,
We should look at, if we're gonna do that, though, we should let the seminary commission know so that they're not putting that as part of their
and
contract.
that's,
Well, Linda's on and she leads them. Linda, can you hear us?
isn't that what Linda's saying in this right here? That we're taking out Common?
Why don't you? Don't mind Todd?
Linda, we're just questioning, part of the cemetery commission right now, you're paying for the mowing of the common itself. Are you looking to not do that this year?
We just signed a contract with Maria to do it for the next 2 years. We may have to go in and get an adjustment on that. But right now, we do have that contract.
Okay, thank
May I
you.
ask how much that contract is?
Hold on.
See what you opened up.
No, because that's what they're asking.
Right,
They're supposed
Yeah,
to take
you're right.
that over, so they signed a contract to mow it.
right, makes perfect sense. Give them back, not spend that
Yeah.
section. So, but Mac, we can mow it, or you already technically mow it. No, I'm mow second. Right, but you're gonna, we can roll over to the main comment.
No, Mac mows the other one with his personal.
Right, border
Right.
property.
But what I'm saying is, if
Yes.
they're requesting here, you're gonna mow, you can do it every other
Okay,
week.
sorry to keep you waiting.
No,
For this year, it's 9,660. Next year, it's 9,950.
I should start mowing. Jesus.
That's a lot of
How
money.
much are you charging? No, I was gonna say
What?
9,000.
$9,000.
2023, 9,660. It's probably a copy of that out on Vera's desk.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
But so for clarification though, you want us now to take over that common?
We would like you to assign a commission that takes care of it. It's town property.
Yes.
Right, so you wouldn't want to take care of it with cemetery monies.
That's right. We won't. So we need to address that mowing.
Yep.
Yes,
Well, just so you know, I believe we're gonna do our own mowing. So you might want to revisit your contract with whoever you're contracting with for the cemetery.
okay.
Right, just to save the money. Like you said, you have to revisit it, let's get it readjusted. Because they
Are
won't be.
you still talking about a no mow May?
Well, we kind of segued from there into Mac and the town cutting that section versus the cemetery paying for it.
For now, Linda, no, that section would not be included in the no mow May.
Right. That's good because when you get.
That's
no mow, you
subject to
get
change.
ticked.
That's subject to change, but for now, I think we'd like to continue mowing it on a regular basis.
Correct.
It's a little different. This is a town park, town common.
Right.
Right.
And you got little kids over there and you got dogs. And there's a path where the deer go through, so you probably got ticks.
Yep. Okay,
All right, thank you, Linda.
thanks, Linda.
We
Thanks,
can
Carol.
sit down with
Thanks,
Maria and have,
Carolyn.
Sorry,
we can sit down with Maria and have her divide the fees for the two.
we don't need it because the town will cut it. We don't need Maria to cut it, the section that we'll be doing.
Okay,
Yeah, I think you just need to sit down with Maria and rework your contract and say that the town is taking back that section and you need a new quote.
okay,
I mean, the town common is a smaller section of the entire contract. And it's probably the easier section because you don't have a lot of things to go around,
you
Right,
don't have the obstacle course.
right?
right.
I'm trying to be nice about it.
Okay. Awesome. So that's Carolyn. Can we come back to Alex? Alex, you back from bathing? The young ones? There we go.
I am, yes. Sorry.
Excellent. Welcome back.
It would not have been an enjoyable background noise for you guys if I would have answered the first time, so I apologize for that.
It's okay. It's okay. You heard what we talked about, MERP?
On and off, yeah, I was trying to listen in as best as I could.
Well, what we'll do is you can give me a call tomorrow. We can go over what I found out in the training class.
Okay,
And we can go over what, and I'm kind of, I should probably let Lance do it, but what we decided as a group, the last meeting was we were going to start with the MERP contract. We'll pay your rate. See how
Okay.
that comes out, and depending upon that, then we'll look at and discuss more contracts. And I will tell you that if you listen, we've already kind of tossed your name around the several different organizations.
yeah, I know.
So, because we don't have a grant writer here, so, or one that we
Yeah.
utilize at this moment. I shouldn't say we don't have one in the town. We may have another one or so, but
Yeah.
we had discussed originally that we would use you for the MERP and see how we go from there.
Okay. You and I can discuss like contract details tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm working on backup failures, but I can absolutely, sometime tomorrow I can either give you a call or you can call me.
Yeah,
Um,
whenever is convenient for you, John.
Yeah, I would say somewhere around 9:10.
Okay, yeah, that should work.
You have
Okay.
my number?
I don't. I can, why don't I just, I'll shoot you an email with my contact info again, just so you have
Okay.
it, and you could just give me a call when you're ready.
Okay, and I'll shoot you mine, so you have it.
Okay, perfect.
Alex, just as an aside, we have, as John did say, that we have spoken to several other groups that would like to utilize your abilities. But we've made it plain that they would be negotiating their own contract with you.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair.
Okay?
All right.
If you have time to help them, we're more than willing to share you, but you negotiate your own fees with them.
Okay, so if, so just for instance, if the Conservation Committee wants to write a grant, I'm dealing with their budget, and library the same way, cemetery, all those entities.
Right.
Right,
Yes.
okay,
Some of them are municipal entities and they'll just come to us and ask for it anyway, but we'll stick to this for now.
okay. And I'll just try to loop in John if that happens, like if I'm approached by the library or something like that, and that way everybody's talking to one another.
Right. That way we'll know. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Talk to you tomorrow, John. All right,
All
bye.
right, we'll talk to you then.
Road report. Mr. Newitt.
You want to check if anyone up there? Or do that after now.
Text her, would you please?
This is the permit for Dana Rourke for Ed. Signed it first time, it's been done. Documented on the back page about the problem failed.
Yep.
So that's already on there. I'm not sure that got paid for. Yes, because usually on the top of the permits for the accesses, it says paid 140 or whatever it is.
Right, there's no number here either.
So
I don't think Kathy's seen this.
I don't think Tammy knows better either.
Before we sign it, I would suggest that we make sure that the permit fee has been paid.
Okay. This is another one he put in today to go across the road with power lines. I don't think we charge for them. We just make sure that they
Put back the road.
put back the road the way it was. They go deep enough.
Right.
The last one he did, this is gonna be the same person that did the one that you and I went up and looked at. And we had to take.
King Road?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only thing I would say is put a note on there saying it comes from the pole straight across the road.
Yeah. No anger.
No angle and directly out of the right of way.
Yeah.
Don't.
directions, conditions.
Yeah.
Goes from pole, crosses road at 90 degrees.
Yeah, and then goes directly out of right away.
Okay,
So in other words, don't go up,
Don't
go
go
across the
yeah.
ditch and go, yeah. Keep it out of our, just one straight shot.
And conduit all the way.
Oh, yeah.
up too, because.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
that's,
don't have wire,
Oh.
all of a sudden you're digging, you don't hit the
Yeah,
conduit.
no, Here Draper's doing it. He's
He's
he was, working for the town. He knows what they do.
oh, but what I've added here for the select board is comes from the pole and crosses the road at 90 degrees all the way out of the right of way. Okay.
That's good. Yeah. Put the security.
And we just signed the first page on April 24, 23.
I have to go do it on the weekend, so. If I get a chance, I'll see it and ask him to. Let me know. Wow.
Um. Just while we got you on the hot seat here. You're all right. The road crew being on the call for mowing the town green,
As long as nobody complains, yeah.
and that will be string trimming as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably an hour. That's pretty good size. It might not be as pretty as when they do it, because they got the, more, this is a finish more, but
Right.
Yeah,
it's not,
understood.
it's not always.
And you're not gonna be able to get so close, so there'll be a little bit more string trimming, but that's yours.
You need to.
Oh, we got one. We got one of them.
Sounds like an apprentice job.
Yeah.
Do you have an apprentice?
See where it says Katie?
That's Rob.
We just gave him a job for when he retires.
There you go.
Something to do.
He's got a yellow zero turn.
Yeah. He probably wouldn't volunteer that one. Might though.
Anything else?
How's Waterville Mountain doing?
Top, pretty wet.
It's,
I was up.
I went up there deliberately today.
Yeah.
Just so that I'd be able to know what it looked like before the meeting. Up around, Beardan Rock, it's an effing mess.
Yeah, it's still much.
The frost is still in the ground up there. There's still some frosties
Yeah.
in a couple places,
Yeah.
but it is real soft mud. I actually put my truck in four-wheel drive in one spot. I started spinning, and instead of just digging a hole and tearing up the road, I stopped, put it in four-wheel drive, and then continued.
I was up there Friday and I figured probably midweek, probably Thursday of this week. You could at least get as far as where we turn around in the winter, just past
Mhm.
Blue School there.
Mhm.
That flat, it's usually another week at least
Yeah.
after that.
It
But
doesn't get any sun.
no, it doesn't
Really
get
at
any
all.
sun
No.
and frost gets driven down pretty good up there.
I mean, if you got a pickup, I went all the way to Jeff, and it's passable, but
Yeah.
there's that wet hole in the middle.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
So when
I
do
get
you,
a
I
chance.
did the bottom of it. Friday afternoon, I think it was, did as far, not quite as far as Seth's, but
Right.
good down the dip, so I turned around at Pat and said.
Have you had a chance to go up and look at any of that equipment that we were talking about at all?
Josh. Sent me a text, said there was a wheeled excavator up there, and he was gonna get. Numbers from
Yep.
Mike about it. I haven't heard back
Okay,
from him
I
since,
just
so I don't
wasn't
know.
sure.
Which if you had a wheel, I guess. that
Wheels would be easier. You could drive it to where you need it. You don't have to trailer or anything.
Yeah.
I think would be better.
I don't
Yeah,
know what size it was. Mark seemed to think they might be a little more expendy because,
maybe.
which they probably are.
Yeah.
But he said that one was bought for a town in New York, so.
Yeah.
It's possible it might be a good size for what we want.
Okay.
Just waiting to hear back from him.
are you considering round 2 of the grading yet?
Oh, yeah. As soon as it starts drying up.
Yeah, I just saw this.
We
I
had,
think some of the maple ones caused a little bit of. A lot of potholes actually down towards the end of Witch Cat and some other
With the rain-
spots.
The rain
The rain
today,
pounded.
yesterday, it's just gonna delay that.
I was surprised when I went across the King Road just a few minutes ago. He graded it last. Monday or Tuesday.
Mhm.
That thing actually stayed really good.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
And last,
crossed it yesterday.
last Thursday, Friday, I think it was, we had both graders out for a short period of
I
time.
think this grader's cutting down a little better than the other graders. So you're getting below the potholes.
Yeah.
You know, where
Yeah.
you, before you weren't able to.
Cool.
Somebody called the office, wouldn't give their name, but it was about Pudville Hill Road. How it was like, no, it was,
Couple weeks ago.
I wrote, no, it was like last week, last Thursday, maybe.
'Cause we
Um,
got a call from a guy up there. Maybe last Monday, and he went right up with the grader. We put a little stone in the soft
Okay.
spot.
Jamie,
I don't think it was. I think it was somebody, but
He wouldn't give his name, said that, you know,
his daughter. lived up
needed to
there.
be kept up. Yeah, families up there with little kids.
Yeah. Probably the same one.
Again.
I mean,
sun doesn't
when
get
it
through
comes
very
to the point, if you're just pushing mud around, there's no need of taking the equipment up there.
Right. But I told him I'd pass it on.
Yep. It's passed.
I noticed on the Kings Hill Road, East Bakersfield Road, you put stone down 4 or 5 places. It
Yeah.
seemed to have helped.
It slid in the Bouchard's Hill. It was 3 or 4 places actually last. I graded part of that first mile Friday morning or Friday afternoon too. Of course, they're still trucking. It had slid more in the last week. And it wasn't bad by any means, but I mean, it was, there were still spots on that road. That was leading. From the blacktop to Bouchard's on, it was really pretty good shape, so.
Excellent.
All right. Anything else on roads?
There was the new equipment for the radios. That was a radio for the new truck.
Yeah.
Not new truck, the new grader.
Yeah.
When I called the guy that we've had him working for us forever, and he went out of business. And he said, I've got a few radios if you want some. So I said, the one in the old grader or my truck, they're not really working that great, so I figured we'd pick up 2 while we were at it. We got the antennas in the whole.
They do good work, but they serviced our equipment at Camp Precast.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find some, take his business for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He worked at IBM with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So he worked at IBM quite a few years. Yeah. Yeah, he still has a lot of handhelds and.
So I would tell you in the future, if you're looking, the one we use for the fire department is Radio North, and they do work on Kenwoods as well. Kenwoods and Motorola's.
I think he said Burlington Communications maybe was, no,
No, that, I'm just saying.
I think he said they were the Kenwood.
Yeah.
Kenwood dealer now.
Yeah, they could be. I'll have to
Radio-
look, but Radio North is actually ours, and they've been
Okay.
very good to us.
Yeah. The only reason I went with him is because he knew the program.
Right,
and, you know,
yeah.
We've been getting it. I didn't know he retired, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, Radio North.
Is that Clark's?
Onward.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
By the dump?
Yeah.
What happened with,
Usually by the dump, yeah.
what happened with truck 123 with all the, I mean, I see that the invoices went back to February. I'm not sure why they're so far back on the warrants.
Because
But-
we were arguing with him.
Oh, on pricing?
No, on the fact that we shouldn't have to pay for something that's warranted.
Okay,
Okay, you had my truck, got in it. Turn the switch on, hand slips off the switch, okay? Turn it back on, it lights up a red light saying, do not start engine, do not run, won't start, do not run. So call them up and say, okay, what are we gonna do here? We got towing on that, we've got warranty on that. And he says, well, you gotta tow it down here. So in the meantime, Mark says, well, did you try resetting the master switch, shutting off?
Yeah.
Shut that off and on, it started. Okay, well, now you can move it. So I called him back up and said, so what do you think? And he said, well, I would still tow it because it's giving you don't run it.
Right.
They won't warranty it because it was no code that was warrantyable. So we have to pay for, yeah, exactly. That's why I've been arguing. with
Wow.
them.
that's why it went back to February.
And the other one, Mark's they did the front end work, some of it was warranted. And then a seal popped up leaking and they said, we didn't
Touch
the
that.
seal." Well, it's got a brand new red seal in there. Argue with them all you want and it's just. It's not the same as it was when it was Clark's truck center. I will say that.
Yeah, I just looked, I'm like, holy God, I put it
And-
nicely because it wasn't the word that came to my mind, but
Nothing like that. No equipment repair parts, nothing is cheap
Yeah.
anymore.
no, it's just the amount.
We
There was
just-
so many repairs in
Well,
3 months,
The thing was,
so many visits,
they hadn't been sending out statements.
right?
So I called them up the other day. I says, are we supposed to start paying off the invoices? And she said, well, you should be getting statements. I said, we're not getting statements. So she sent up the statement. To which I equaled up the bills. We got a bill the other day for, we needed oil filters for my truck, Dan's truck, all 3 trucks. Ordered them from him. It was $90 a piece for the oil filter, which I thought was kind of expensive.
Yeah,
Dan called Napa. It was more expensive at
Yeah.
Napa than it was down there, which
wow,
surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, some things you gotta buy from them, right?
that's cool. Thank you.
Much as I hate to.
Yeah.
What was I gonna write down?
Sorry. Replay the video.
Okay. Board business.
Oh, wait. If Rosalie has anything.
Okay. Rosalie, did you have something that you wanted to bring up? You got to take yourself off mute.
Oh, I I was just watching, but I want to let the road crew know that I'm very pleased with the roads, how they have been. They're not ruddy, well maintained. As an elderly person in East Bakersfield, I feel very pleased and at ease knowing that, you know, I don't have to get stuck. And if we need emergency crews, they can get through. Thank you, Mac.
This was an extremely.
Your mic's off.
This was an extremely easy spring, Rosalie. For most towns around, it was unbelievable.
Well, thank you for the feedback anyhow.
Oh, one other thing, that thing you sent me today about, or yesterday about Penelope,
Hey, yeah,
that's the paper that I came over to your house 2 weeks ago and asked you when we looked at it and said, yep, and I signed and sent back to her.
yeah,
It took them 2 weeks to get them to sign it. Now it's gonna take them 2 to 3 weeks to kind
Yeah.
of check.
yeah,
Are they serious?
yeah.
We have got,
This is, Mac has a legitimate gripe. We've been dealing with this for 3 years now. This is how FEMA responds.
this is actually state, right?
This is state emergency
They have-
management,
They
yeah.
have passed the Waterville project on to the state, and that is, they asked Kim for something and it looked like Kim sent them back to whatever they asked for, so I'm assuming they'll be asking.
That's a small project. That should go faster. I hope.
Yeah, what about Whitney? That's been talked about a couple times too. I mean, we've got 75% of 75% on that one, but
Nothing goes fast in state.
Yeah.
I can attest to
oh,
that.
absolutely nothing goes fast. And the number of times they've asked us over and over for the same information. It's just
And
unbelievable.
I don't know why, oh yeah, you want to ask for a drawdown, you can have 75% of 75%. Why don't they just say you can have 60% of it?
Why don't they give you 75% of the 90% that they're gonna give us?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Craziness.
We appreciate their effort.
Excellent.
Okay,
Board business.
board meetings. Treasurer position updates.
Nada.
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 Nobody.
That's gonna be a short.
Nobody wants the job. Grant writing, we've already covered.
Bought the stickers.
ATV stickers,
Those are ready. I just need to pick them up.
Yeah, we paid for
Okay.
them on today's warrants.
warrants and reports.
I think it was $53. I think you
Um,
signed it tonight.
So under the
Eddie.
warrant thing, I don't think that Terry's had an opportunity to see that.
Oh, this is
So-
for ARPA.
For the ARPA disbursements, Terry, I wrote together a kind of acknowledgement form for the fund disbursement and liabilities and such.
I haven't even looked at the mail
We'll hit that. I got a couple things in here.
Oh.
Another round. So I'm just trying to cover, making sure that if funds aren't used the way they were requested, things of that nature.
You don't get one time.
No.
You want mine? You got mine.
You keep it.
I've already read it.
And you may have seen on the warrants under the
I
ARPA.
like that, John, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Under the warrants itself, the ARPA warrant has the 5 that we approved plus the $20 gift of funds for the brackets that we're reimbursing the roads for. From Valancourts.
I just like.
While he's doing mail, we are missing on this agenda. It may be because of what happened, but zoning board administrator.
I've been to.
Is that the second?
Well, what happened is I just want to explain the zoning board administrator who was supposed to be on this.
Yeah,
Brenda was supposed to be here.
I didn't put it up.
Brenda told me today, she sent me an email and said she cannot make the 4th Monday meeting or the second meeting of each month. She is a part of the Democratic National Committee and they meet and she's already committed for it since she did not get reelection. She went back and rejoined that group. They meet. She said she'll come on the second Monday or the first
Okay.
meeting of
I'll
each
remember
month.
to put that in.
Please make sure you add her. She had some questions. I told her that we're looking for a recap of all of the zoning board activity for the prior month. And that we're looking for not only requests for permits, but also any kind of, issues or liabilities with regarding to things that are done without permits. So we're looking for a
To
report.
keep us informed of work that's going on that could affect MAC, could
Right.
affect the fire department, could affect different areas. So it's just to make sure we're aware of that.
Yeah, exactly. She did ask if she could come via Zoom or in person. I said, we prefer majority is in person. Zoom in the case of an emergency. All right, so that's, and she emailed me. So I just, I just responded, CC Josh, I think Jay Kathy on there too.
You wanna peruse that one real quick?
Absolutely.
HF Brigham Free Library. Dear Select Board members, we currently have a vacant trustee position. We respectfully ask that you appoint Rebecca Ann Bennett to serve the third year of a 3-year term. On behalf of the trustees, sincerely, Nicole Kirk.
I would make that a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion has been made and seconded to appoint Rebecca Ann Bennett to serve the third year of a 3-year term on the HF Brigham Free Library Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So appointed. Congratulations, Ms. Bennett.
All right, so this is, Lance, this is the report.
I know
For
what
the
it
Walmart
is. I
plate?
just wanted the synopsis on it if you,
No problem.
if you,
So,
for 24, 23. Belvedere Mountain permit question. This is from Rick Hayden. Said, good morning. My name is Rick Hayden. My wife and I are currently under contract to purchase a camp located on 509 Belvedere Mountain Road. Currently owned by David and Chantel Perry. During the title search, it was found that the Perrys had drilled a well and installed without state of Vermont wastewater permit. The issue has brought this transaction to a standstill. My question: do I need the state of Vermont wastewater permit to use the camp as a seasonal vacation hunting camp? I look forward to your response or an opportunity for a discussion. I think this is a issue for the zoning commissioner.
Yep.
Should be forwarded to Brenda. And if she has issues with it, then it'll come back to us.
You should reach out to the state. Or regional.
I
plan.
thought we already did that with them. Because they didn't do what they were supposed to. Right?
Yeah. That's what.
Oops, here's
The
some more.
kid was living there and he was supposed to get a design, right? A septic design, and he didn't do it.
Right.
So I don't think there was any
Dispose of it.
septic at all.
this is the one of the two.
That, yeah.
Right.
Who's checking on those?
So who did they sell it to?
Tammy?
So, oh, by the way, on other business, I should have brought up the fact that Dorothy Prescott, is it Prescott? Has not responded to any of my phone calls. I had,
Oh.
yeah. I had John give her a call. She didn't respond to John's phone call either. And I've been trying. for a
Let's
week
send
and a half.
her a registered letter so that she gets a registered letter asking with, what we're proposing and see if she replies back to that.
I have 3 phone numbers for her. She's not responding to any.
No, but at least the register, you're gonna get a signature saying that she received a letter and you know that
If
she
she
got it.
doesn't
And if she doesn't
respond to
reply,
that, So she doesn't want to do it.
And give her 30 days to reply or whatever, 15 days from the receipt of the.
Tammy, can you help me with that tomorrow, please?
Yep, yep,
I'll be here
That's true, yeah, certified, there you go.
certified.
for a meeting with Paul Dreyer tomorrow about Brigham,
What
So wait a
time-
minute.
What time are you here?
10:30.
Are you, I thought you were vacation tomorrow.
I'm supposed to, but I think I'm gonna go on Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't want to hold you.
No, not for this reason.
Oh, okay, you sure?
Yep.
Thank you.
Mhm.
This is something you're familiar with? You've been dealing with that mostly. And this is dealing with the letter that we all sent, that got sent, so. Yeah,
We've done those for the fire.
Who put this in?
They're actually pretty big.
Northwest Vermont Realtors. So that will go with that. Harding and Mazzotti, they have a request for more information. Actually, it's VLCT that's requested more information. I've enlisted Todd in trying to help me with this, and he's not having any more luck than I am on this project, so. Basically, we're being stonewalled.
That Harding and Mazzotti.
Yeah, I'm not dealing directly with them. I'm trying to deal with the state of Vermont to get a report. We've got first responders report, but they're asking for more information than is on the first responders report. They want his insurance, they want his social security number, for instance,
Who
and
wants all that?
the insurance company, our insurance company.
And the attorney for BCLP should be.
The attorney has this,
Right.
but here again, Harding and Mazzotti isn't responding to me. They'll only respond to the insurance company.
I would have VCLC or CT attorney go ahead and get that copy of that
Get our
report.
attorney on with them.
Let them go get it. They've got the staff to do that.
Yeah, but our attorney's the one that was asking for the information that I can't find.
But they
I'm
should
just
be able-
gonna call
But
them
I'm
and
saying
say
they
do it.
should be
Do
doing
it.
that on a regular basis for different things. They should probably have more of a chance to get it than we do.
Yes,
What you have in your right hand goes with this here, and both are a moot point now.
they are.
They were driven by the prior position holder who was looking for that increase.
What is
It's
it?
well, back when we had a different treasurer before Vera, they reached out to the state of Vermont for an answer to a question about how they're paid. I reached out, the second email is what I reached out to Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns. And pretty much it's not a elected position.
And that was
And-
last
and this-
meeting. I just
right.
didn't take that out.
Yeah, that
You
we've already
toss
handled
this?
that. That's
Told
a
you that,
big
but
thing.
you
Just
think
put it in
they-
letters to the select board.
There you go.
Huh?
they're
I'll just
now
put
an
it in the
employee
file.
of the town.
Letters to the select board.
There you go.
That
Yeah,
way-
so long as it doesn't wind back up.
Oh,
on the
now that she's
health
appointed,
section.
yeah. Yeah.
Right. So interestingly enough, while you read this one, that one, this is the synopsis of the dog bite at Walmart. The individual worked for Walmart. The guy had the two dogs in the truck and they didn't realize he was bit until later on. When he saw he didn't realize the dogs punctured his skin till later on. The problem is there's been multiple attempts to contact the K9's owner and unable to get a hold of him. The interesting thing is this did not come through Bakersfield. This was actually reported to Dorothy Preston over in Enosburg for animal control, and Dorothy what's that other, Sandra
Wait,
Murphy.
the Same dogs?
Same
Yes.
dogs. This was the bite that
Same
happened in
dogs.
February.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this is the report, but it went through Enosburg, not Bakersfield. We should probably get this report over to our health inspector so it's on
Ginger, so
record.
that she gets the.
Yeah. So she has, it.
Probably because he has an Enosburg mailing address. So that's probably how Enosburg got involved with it.
So do I.
Sent it to us.
Yeah, so do I. My
Right,
mailing
but
address is
that's,
Enosburg.
a lot of times that's what happens. People
Right.
don't realize your physical address is one thing, your mailing address is in a
Exactly.
different town.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it's kind of funny when I try to tell people what it is. Tammy, who was it? Let me ask this way. Who was supposed to find out about the dog tags?
The who? The dog tags? I
Rabies
did.
tags.
I got one rabies
I
certificate.
see that. So what happened with the other one? Do you know?
They don't have it and they
Right, so
checked.
one dog, we
just-
don't even know.
They requested all their records to go to a Newport. That,
That's because where it happened. It happened up there.
and they never made an appointment. So the
Right.
Newport vet has never seen them. So
Okay.
that 2022 tag, that expired in 22.
So this
This
kind
other
of,
one was a new, he's got a valid.
so this kind of parlays with our ordinances, right? Last meeting, we talked about fines and things like that, and to go look at other towns, for instance, Enosburg's, to get a kind of a guideline. They also ours was updated in the early 2000s. Enosburg's was updated a little more, well, we also touched it in 2010. Enosburg's was a little more recent, but still the fines are just, well, they're like almost double what we do, but I don't think it really, my problem was like when I read Enosburg's thing regarding boarding, my bites and fines and dogs running off leashes, we should really fix that. This is just way behind. But the point when we come down to boarding a dog and paying for food and upkeep, I think we should just make that in a blanket. You're gonna pay what it costs us. So if it's a $25 a day boarding fee, that's your fee. And if they charge us $10 to feed your dog a day, that's your fee. It's gonna be, I don't think, because the way ours is written, it's really,
Overly complicated.
well, it's not so much overly complicated, it's underfunded.
Yeah.
How are you going to enforce it?
Well, that's the problem. That's why we were trying to get a hold of Dorothy to do it from.
We're back to square one.
We're gonna have to get somebody in
We
town.
can talk all we want about how you want to do it, but unless you have somebody to enforce it and somebody who's been certified by the state of Vermont to issue these citations, then
I think the key thing here is we get our ordinance in order and then we try to get us somebody who's willing to accept the amount of monies we agreed for Dorothy to do it, that stipend and then the piece, and get somebody in here to do the job. We absolutely have to send them the training and hopefully it's somebody who wants to do this for multiple years.
Did Matt get the ones?
Got the warrant right here.
Put that on the stack because Matt keeps that until we sign it again. Thank you.
So I'm gonna pass this down. Can you
Got
pass this to
this warrant?
Tammy?
Oh, is this a different? one?
This is,
So
That's
has
the dog.
Peter visited
you want to put
these?
it,
No.
keep it in new mail or?
No, I think what she needs to do is get a copy of that or that to Ginger, so Ginger can have it for her records.
Okay.
At least make a copy of
Has
it.
Ginger been there since Mr. Churchill got bit by these dogs?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll put it,
She knows nothing
Keep a
about
copy.
it. So shouldn't we
Have a
make
copy, keep a
Ginger
copy.
aware of?
I thought last meeting, somebody was reaching out to Ginger and asking her to check
I
on those
sent
dogs.
you well, I did talk to Ginger. and
Right.
She said that she needs to be, the form I sent you guys a copy.
Right.
of, She needs to do that form if the hospital doesn't do that form, but she still needs to be notified anytime there's a dog bite, so she can
That's,
follow up.
So you,
That's the information right there that needs to be passed to Ginger, please.
that needs to be copied and put into Ginger. Sorry.
And the newest bite, and the newest bite,
What's that?
and the newest bite.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Is that
Nigel?
just the Walmart one, right?
That's the Walmart one. We had one over in New York that I don't think we had a
We
report
can't do
for,
anything on
right? And then you had Nigel's bite and you had,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
And Rosalie.
And Rosalie's bite was a little bit long ago, a little while ago. But yeah, I mean,
What's being done about the dogs? Where are they right now? What's happening?
we don't know.
There should have been some type of, not the word attitude. When we used to do it, okay, we picked up the dogs. If they didn't have tags, they were fined so much a day. And they didn't get them back until they were all paid. The dogs have a legal right to bite 2 times. The dogs have bitten more than 2 times. So they, you guys somebody should be picking the dogs up. And
We're
you
not
have law
allowed.
enforcement.
We're,
Huh?
we're not- we're not allowed. Our hands are tied to enforce not only the penalties, but the state troopers were telling us
The
that
state police said, I can't do it. They said, well, we don't have a animal control officer, so the select board is trying to act in their stead. They said, oh, have you had the course? I said, what course? You need to be certified to be able to do that now.
the problem is, Rosalie, the dogs have bitten. We know 4 times, of which we have 1 official write-up, and I'm sure Nigel will do the second. Yours is the 3rd, and 1 over in New York that we can't get a hold of. So, you know, the dogs are we know of 4 bites. And we know of it. We just need the reports for at least 3 of them. So we can handle that aspect. But in another breath, Rosalie, we've tried to hire someone. We really, to Lance's point,
But if at the most, we could be sending a letter to this residents, making them aware that these dogs need to either,
Oh, you know what? I also have his sister's contact information. She's his guardian.
Wow.
That just came in this last week.
Okay, well, give it to me
Three, four,
tomorrow.
three, yeah.
I'll see if I can get a hold of his.
we are trying what we can, but our hands are slightly tied when we can't even get,
summer's coming, kids are gonna be riding their bikes,
someone's gonna get really hurt.
people riding
I
bikes.
put it right there.
I don't really want to wait until somebody's.
And Barbara said that her husband's bike was kind of mangled a little bit because of the dog attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
So
mean,
that needs to be added in.
we have to get the official report, which means we have to get Ginger involved, which we have.
well, the hospital
Have to
should
get
have
it figured
sent us
out.
a
Could have
report.
done that, yeah.
The hospital is mandated to report to the health officers when there is a dog bite.
Yes.
Right.
Even if a dog has had its rabies shots, according to the state law statutes, the dog has to be quarantined for so many days, whether
Okay.
it's had a shot or not.
Yeah, it's 10 days. Quarantine the dog for 10 days to ensure that it doesn't have rabies, because if the dog has rabies, it'll be dead within 10 days of it getting it. That's what they said.
So Mr. Churchill, when he got bit, how many times for the puncture holes? You know, did he have to have, I mean, that's confidential, but you know, did he have to have any type of medical treatments for rabies?
He was here. He actually spoke on the record.
Yeah,
He
He
spoke on the
declined.
record. He said he was holding off and hoping that he didn't have to get them. But it's been
The
10 days.
animals are still alive and well.
So fortunately, didn't have rabies. Now, as for, I think he said the 37 punctures he suffered. That's a different story. And I agree exactly with what everyone's saying, including him, who said if it was children, they wouldn't be here right now. Those dogs were torn apart. Those dogs need to be taken care of. And it's a shame.
So is
that-
it, so is the town liable if somebody, because we don't have an appointed person trained, is the town liable for the responsibility of those dogs being still not where they need to be?
Well, I will say it from my own perspective. Up until Nigel sat here and told us about his attack, we knew of something that may have happened up in Newport. We had no reports on. We knew there may have been an incident over in New York, which we still don't have a report on.
That's
And
what
if
you have.
That's not New York, that's Newport. Yeah, that's the Newport.
No,
report.
that's New York. I'm
No,
pretty
that's
sure.
Newport, Walmart. I thought that was in Newport.
Mm-mm.
so this is the New York.
That's even
That's
worse.
New
I thought that was the Vermont report.
No,
All right, so we don't have one, we are missing
I think that
Nigel's,
was
which
in-
makes.
This is
two
Stony
votes.
Creek. Yeah,
that was in-
this is New York.
Sorry.
pick up the-
All right, so we're missing. We're missing yours and we're missing Newport's, and we only need another 2 to take care of this. Right, well, we only have 1. On the second one, that's their final bite. And if we can get a 3rd report, they're gone. But if people don't fill out reports, We can't do it on just hearsay.
Definitely did, because he went to the emergency room.
Right. Well, no, so we
You
both
filed
do,
with
but we
town.
still have,
I
we,
think Ginger did get a call from the hospital.
He didn't,
Right.
he didn't
Yeah.
file one with the town, Terry. He spoke to us, but he didn't file it.
we need a file so we can act.
The hospital will send the report.
And
When that happened with the dog over at
Mhm.
Donna's,
We didn't get it.
we can't go and remove his dogs until we have at least 3.
Maybe Joe
Right?
did. I don't
Where
know.
did you hear? I mean, I'm just,
I don't know if she got a, I know she got a call. I don't know. if she
when,
got-
if somebody was attacked as hard as bad as Mr. Churchill was, okay? And the town didn't do anything about it, you're lucky he's not going after the town because you guys, in a way, I know what you gotta
Wait,
have.
A bite's a
But-
bite. It was an incident. We're still waiting for a report. We can't react to what Linda could come in tomorrow and say the dog's better. If she doesn't put, sorry, Linda, you're just sitting there. If she doesn't put in the report, we can't act on it. We need the substantiating evidence to act on it. File your report. You're number 3. Deed gets done. Until a 3rd report is filed, we can't do anything. Honestly, I'm not trying to be a hard nose, but if we go over and take his dogs and we only have 1 official report on file, maybe 2, then we're forcing him to give up his dogs and he could sue the town for us this abusing our power, if you want to call it power, or our authority. We need the 3rd report.
I know, I'm not saying that you're not corrected that, I'm just saying you're lucky that somebody hasn't been attacked and is saying, what the hell is the town of Bakersfield doing here?
Following
You're supposed to
the-
have, it's supposed to be law, we are supposed to have a constable.
We don't have one. No one wants to.
I know,
run.
but that is a state requirement.
So we can force you to be constable? We'll set up training tomorrow. If you don't want to do it, how do we force someone to do it? I
I'm
mean,
just saying,
seriously.
what happened, what, does a select board person, I'm not trying to drag this out, I'm just saying, is a select board person supposed to take over the position when it's not filled, which is a required voted position?
Not without training, no.
Yeah, we don't have the training.
So what is the training?
There
How
you
much
go.
is the training?
60 hours.
I heard somebody saying earlier, you didn't want to get somebody because
It's
they
real.
got to commit for like 3 years.
I think.
Well, the training's not cheap. Same thing with the dog catcher. You know, you gotta get trained. It's not cheap. But here's the thing, if we had some folks who wanted to step up and do it, listen, I'm a full-time employee for a company. I can't be constable, dog catcher, select boardman, and still earn my salary running a business down in South Burlington. Something's got to give. So the reality is, and folks farm and folks have things that they're already a part of. So we have to find somebody in the town who wants to do these positions, get them. I actually told Josh I'll be constable, but I want the red plates and I want the lights on my truck. Then I'll be your constable.
Have you
But
spoken to
seriously.
Lonnie's husband?
Milani?
Mhm.
Menard, Lonnie Menard, she lives over on Butternut, right, almost at the border. I haven't talked to him. I know but I thought he didn't run. He knew the position was open. Lilani would.
He told me that he was open to it, not too long ago.
Well, if he says it again,
He should
Reach out to us.
reach out to the select board.
yeah,
We can't go around to each and every household in town and say, hey,
I didn't know if you had approached
a
him, if he'd
constable.
approached you. That was my question.
he has not approached
he
us.
hasn't
No.
approached. I don't want to say I'm hostile. I'm not. I'm just saying our hands are tied. As for him approaching us, he hasn't. And I guarantee you, had he approached us on either the dog catcher official position
Yeah,
or the police officer, we'd be running him down the training tomorrow. I mean, seriously, we
So is
need,
the training, okay, is the training for the dog catcher or for the constable or both?
both.
Oh, well, they're separate.
it's
trainings.
different training, but in order to be just a constable or just a animal control officer, there still is a training session that you have to go through. And
Yeah,
if you want to be a constable, it's more intense.
right.
Police academy?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes,
Pittsford, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. We'd love someone to step up. We want someone to step up.
Mhm.
You know, that would be a problem we'd love to take on. Somebody wanting to be constable or animal control.
The only reason why, and I'm not somebody who gets intimidated, seriously, and anybody who knows me, not, but when I sit here and I think of the person who owns these animals, I've been in his home, I've been around him, and he's not somebody to play with. And if somebody tries to take his dogs, you're gonna have one heck of a fight, and there could be repercussions because he's not like you and me.
Right.
Well, that's exactly why just anybody shouldn't be doing this job. That's exactly
Exactly.
why the state is now requiring some training for this position.
Right. Right. And frankly, like I said at the start of it, we don't have the third rate up. We're still waiting on the second one. You know, we couldn't even take it if we wanted to, which we can't anyhow.
And
but-
you can't get backup from any law enforcement unless you're law enforcement.
That's right.
Right, right. You can
But
get the state.
we can't send a letter making him aware that his dogs are being watched, because we've had reports of 3 incidences.
You
And
can send them and remind him of the
we-
ordinance.
We could send him that his dog has 2 official bite. What we ought to do
Yes.
is send him an official letter that says that we have 2 bites on record, and according to town ordinance, if a 3rd bite comes up on record for those dogs, 2 bites for each dogs, right? If a 3rd bite comes up, report on those dogs, then we have to by law take those dogs away.
I will sign, I will do the paperwork. I was just trying to find out what the heck's going on. And
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of the young man or the gentleman or whatever. I'm just telling you how it's gonna be.
well, you know, as soon as we can get somebody who's constable or at least in the animal control spectrum that has the training, then the police will assist us in removing said animals, if I'm right.
Well, and
That's
I
correct.
think
They-
in the letter we need to
Correct.
make a suggestion that
Yeah.
he can
They
find
won't
those dogs.
respond to a call without the assistance of a town appointed.
Yeah, CC is sister
Officer.
town.
Yeah,
So
Yep.
just so you know too, I also made the Enosburg ambulance and the Bakersfield Fire Department aware of this property. So that
Yeah.
if they get called, they're not going into that.
Because they may get nipped. And I don't know, I mean, Nigel sounds like, or Mr. Churchill, he said his name was Nigel. I didn't catch his last name, so. He said, you know, with these 37 bites, they were pretty vicious and it was insane. This other guy, this other individual over in New York didn't even know he's bit. Like till later, and then he realized the dog got him.
he just didn't realize it broke the skin,
Right.
Yeah, right, I'm sorry, yes. So, I mean,
which that's understandable.
and in your case, you know, Rosalie, I understand what you're saying. You know, if we could get the Newport one, we'd absolutely love the Newport one. We don't have it.
Well, I said I will go in tomorrow because Tammy's leaving for vacation afterwards. I'll do the paperwork on that. But you guys, it's just, I don't know. When I think of the neighbors around there,
Yeah,
I know how it was for me. And I still, when I go by, and I can't imagine how Nigel's feeling.
Yeah,
I mean, I made fists and I put them by my sides so that they wouldn't bite my fingers
I mean, you know, I don't know,
and didn't move.
you know, I mean, I don't do the Bakersfield Facebook groups, but I don't know if it's cropped up on there. Someone put out a, hey, you may not want your kids riding up on Witch Cat for now because puppies are pretty, you know, pretty aggressive over there, or without giving the guy's address, you know, something like that. But I really don't know. I don't know, because he deserves, you know, on one level, he deserves his privacy too. But, you know, until such time he's lost the ability to be private.
Ugly dog.
no.
I didn't know if our ordinance required signage for dogs on property.
No,
You know, something.
here is I mean, I don't know if you want to peruse it. There's the actual ordinance of ours. I printed it out the other day. But yes, if Lalani's husband is interested in being the constable, and he has time to do so, we would
Absolutely.
absolutely love to hear from him.
Now, I talked to the state trooper farmer, and she indicated that she could not even sign a citation
No.
for an animal violation because she herself had not had this specific training. So the training for a police officer and this are separate.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I mean, it went from last year, three of us were running around knocking on doors, talking to people all
yep.
spring, summer. To we can't even have a conversation with someone right now because we are not trained, appropriately trained. Hence why Lance tried to get our neighboring town's animal control officer under a short-term contract trial basis to handle this. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to get a hold of them since that conversation. Since
Is there an East Fairfield? Is there Fairfield? Is there Cambridge, Jeffersonville?
I thought we had a fix. I thought we were all set with this person. And I'm gonna have to start over again, or somebody's gonna have to start over again and go to another neighboring town.
I think, why do I think Lilani's husband's name's Chris? Chris Ward? I
God, you had to say it. I'm not sure, but
think it's
no,
Chris.
he specifically had told me that he was,
We would love him to do it. Either
But-
way would be great.
could have been a change of mind plan, but this was not, this is April, so it would have been last month.
Right. We'll cheat and see if I can find it. Anyhow,
Sorry, I didn't mean to hold up the meeting.
no, that's fine.
Sometimes I worry about repercussions, okay? And this gentleman is walking the streets, what I call the back roads right now. I get very, very concerned. And if somebody like that is out looking, okay, for people who are cutting his pipes and different things like this, I'm hearing all kinds of things from people who've been to his house recently. And it's kind of sad because it's scary. When somebody tells you that, they went in his house to do a job and when he left, he felt, and this person came to my house with his wife and said, he wouldn't put it past this person. And he didn't even know about the dog bites. He was talking about what happened, his experience 2 weeks ago. He said if his dogs attacked him, he'd push him. He knows that he feels that he would push him down the stairs and not tell anybody and just shut the door and let the dogs have him. That's scary.
That is very scary. Yeah, I think his first name's Chris. Christopher's photo drops. Yes.
I'm quite sure it is too.
Yeah. All righty. Sorry, Lance.
Anything else on this issue?
Not by me, no.
No, but
Thank
get
you.
better.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do the
I'm
certified
not
thing.
doing- I've
You
got too
might
many other
want
things
to
on my
send it
plate
to
right
his sister too,
Right.
Bring 'em.
because
No,
if
but
she's
get that
guardian.
certified letter to the girl that we talked about, that we tried to contact and see if we can get in contact with
I've got
her.
enough other things on my plate right now.
Okay.
Feel free.
You started it, so I'm just saying.
Everybody seems to pass it on to me, but I'll get on. Okay,
Spurgeon and talk to Billy Joe over there, see what I can find out.
Next thing on the agenda is Brigham. I have a
Your
meeting
mic.
tomorrow. Next thing on the board business agenda is Brigham Academy update. I have a meeting tomorrow with Paul Dreher. Submit the signage sheet that was finally signed last meeting. And we'll move on from there.
Excellent. Item G's a no-go.
Hmm?
Item G's a no-go.
No go. Anything else?
I think I've killed every horse on the farm. Anyone else?
I thought you had some stuff.
Oh, I went through it. I did this.
Oh, okay.
It's one other stuff. I'm sorry, I have nothing further.
Put up cameras to help some of the crime we're seeing in town.
You want to put your mic on?
Yeah, that's,
Are we ready to put up cameras to halt some of this crime we're seeing in town?
Yeah, I was shocked to see the main street with the cars the other day. It really surprised me. I mean, it doesn't, but it does. It's sad.
how many did it turn out to be?
Quite a few.
I mean, I know of about 4.
Ryan, it was.
Were they unlocked?
Blaine Ovitz, Chad
Chad
Paquette, Sarah Joe,
Um,
Jerry and Sue Brown,
yeah,
they
Pat-
unlocked?
yeah, Sue Patter, yeah,
Clement and Carrie Paquette.
wow. So they just,
Ed
what do they do, walk
Davis.
right down the road and,
Sounds like they did the loop.
Didn't bother me.
Were these all unlocked? Did they break windows? How'd they get into the car?
There were vehicles that were unlocked.
See, it just, I'm sorry, where I come from, I drive my girlfriend crazy. I lock my door whether I walk out for 5 minutes or 5 hours.
See, you just said it, where you came from.
Yeah.
That has never
It's unfortunate. Well, that's what I love about here, right?
failed.
That's what I love about here, but it's still ingrained in me. Like I'll lock it, but it's the world's changing, times are changing. You need to lock up your stuff, to be honest.
little story, my wife is from Manchester, New Hampshire. It's a fairly large city, and she always locked everything up. And earlier, and maybe 20 years ago, she insisted we lock the house and lock the cars. They just walked on the deck on the backside and punched out a window and stole everything anyway.
No, yeah, if they want to get in, they're getting in, but it's the ones that don't.
Insurance is better.
Yeah, and the reality is it's some, for the kid who's gonna try to cause trouble, they're not, a lot of times they're gonna punch a window, but if somebody wants in, they want in. I mean, they'll break your car windows. I had someone break my car window for 83 cents and change on my, in my cigarette cup holder thing once in PA. So
Wow.
I'm like, I should have left the door unlocked. The window cost me more than the change. Ridiculous. But they are changing times and, I know that we don't get, I don't know what our viewing audience actually is, or reading audience, but lock up your possessions, lock your car, lock your house, lock your garage. Otherwise, you're just asking for someone to come along and take what you own.
It's so easy.
Yep, it is nowadays, even with the cars, most cars, you push a button, you don't even have to hit the button. So,
Terry, you were talking about cameras. What was your suggestion?
It'd be nice to watch this parking lot over here between the churches.
Yeah,
Well, you don't have to worry because Judy's sister sleeps behind the church in her
well,
car. She does. We all know that. So
Jolly,
nobody,
Jolly's
Huh?
parking lot would be another nice one to watch. They must have cameras
They have
down there though.
yeah, I don't know.
no,
Yeah, they have exterior.
J&A, I think I've seen J&A has a
We have
camera or
lot
two
of
on them.
jurisdictions, but It wouldn't
Yeah.
show where that'll happen.
Now, that's the key too. If you get enough cameras, like people have those door zoom cameras, but it's a monthly fee. Get enough people of that, they just start cross looking in them all. They figure that's how they catch people all the time anymore, but
Lot of stuff's happening in this town from midnight to 4 AM.
I had,
Just saying.
had somebody stop right in front of the house. And they had a muffler that was fairly loud. This was a week and a half ago. Right in front of the house, and they shined a flashlight right at the house,
oh no.
out of the car. Oh, yeah. I grabbed, you know what, and headed for the door in my boxers, but before I could get there, they were gone.
Your boxers?
Now we know how your mind works.
Could be a lot of hanging medals.
So
Oh.
Linda came back for something. What did you come back for, Linda? Besides our pleasant company?
I apologize. Did I leave too soon? Did you set up a commission for the town common?
No, not yet. I'm sorry. What we were dealing with was the no mow May, and that's why we kind of went back around.
For the common?
Yeah.
Okay, because I got Shane lumber coming to cut some trees too, and some of these are on the common.
Listen, you can't touch the common. You just said you don't.
Not until you get the commission set up.
No, it's still owned by the town right now, today.
Well, so does the cemetery.
Oh, no, but I thought it was illegal to use the cemetery funds to do that stuff. That was what you were saying in your letter, if I read it right.
That's right.
So if you have them cut the town common,
So, okay, so I tell them not to cut the ones that are on the common.
yeah, I would just
Put it
have,
in the bill.
no, we just want to know what ones they are so we can either cut them or, figure out what we want to do with them. So they're saying they're dead?
On the front of the cemetery, and we're
The
cutting
border.
them because they're dead, and you can see through them in places, and we don't want them to fall and damage headstones.
Yeah,
No, that makes sense.
So he spotted some other ones while he was there. I think one is like in the corner up here where the light bushes are, maybe one is right there at the corner of the fence, beginning of the white fence.
Yeah, we just
I
need to
can
mark them.
verify it with him.
If he could just mark them.
Sounds like that cemetery.
I'm just saying, because I don't want to get the cemetery in trouble for it, nor do I want to incur an expense that we don't know about yet. We need to figure out what it would cost and, how we take them down if we decide to take, like, what we're taking down, how many, blah, 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 but we need to know what's dead. Really should, have them spray
Right.
paint them or something.
easiest way for that. Wait till the leaves come out and go see what doesn't have leaves.
But if a tree has half leaves, then what?
And those ones that are dying, you see, they still have some green leaves at the top. and-
See that?
Yeah, I know what she's talking about. You look right through it.
I think that we need to just determine what ones have to come down and take them down.
Shane looked at them and so did Larry, but I don't think Larry came over and looked at the ones here on the corner.
And of course,
He's
the
here, tree warden, she's- Huh?
Oh, yes?
Yeah, sliding.
Oh,
He's got the lids and taken down.
not the way I do with a rope and just cut it on an angle so it falls this way. He goes, shoo, sticks in the dirt, and you're like, now what do I do? Why? Hey, it is what it is.
you're right there.
I haven't killed myself yet.
I was trying to bite my tongue there, Terry.
I haven't killed myself yet.
It's when they don't look.
Oh, a lot of times they fall nice, but I've stuck a few sitting in the dirt more than once. I just cut it on a straight angle. Well, I tried to do notch, but anyhow, call me. I love, if I don't hurt myself, I didn't do the job right.
There's some little ones up there that big around.
I can take that. Thank you. Anyhow,
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn the meeting for the day. All those in favor?
yeah,
Yay. Any opposed?
all righty.